All right, what's up, everyone? This is a new episode of Sports Harder coming at you live on this Sunday evening. We have your host, Maddie Lukewarm Ice, and as always, my co-host for the evening is Chris the Gorilla Binder.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up? We're excited. We're going to do mostly football episode this episode. We're going to go over our divisional picks and playoffs and all that jazz, and probably talk a little fantasy football if we got time for it as well. Cover some other stuff that's been going on around the league as well. Number one topic that we'll start off, and we're just going to jump right into it. We're not going to keep anybody waiting. Deshaun Watson, obviously, everyone has seen that his suspension is now 11 games with a $5 million fine instead of the 6 games. He has come to terms or whatever, or they settled on that. As we were talking about privately before, never really saw where a player could settle. Almost like in a court case, where you reach like a settlement agreement, and then now,
Or that they have any say in their suspension, like.
Yeah, exactly.
But
And,
it's fishy as hell because the game he comes back for, he's playing the Texans.
The Texans, a big key marquee matchup. Technically, if this was like a normal type of thing, it would be a revenge game for him, obviously, because he used to play for them. He wants to be able to prove that, leaving was a good thing for him. So it obviously the NFL trying to get as much as they can with promotion and advertising and trying to make people think less about what Deshaun's being charged for and think more about, okay, he's playing against his old team. Let's focus on that instead of the other. He's still maintaining his innocence. He did issue an apology, but he said the apology was more so for people that were like triggered by the situation and not an apology of it wasn't like an admittance of guilt. So he's still claiming his innocence, which if he is innocent, I commend him. I mean, he's not giving in, which is fair enough. But obviously, if he did do it, then this is kind of a huge, long charade, where he could have just admitted to it up front from the very beginning. Kind of like in baseball when A-Rod kind of beat around the bush like a whole bunch about the steroid thing or whatever, and he kept on like denying for like the longest time. And then they finally had proof, and then they were like, no, here's the proof you did do steroids. And then finally he was like, oh yeah, I did. So it's kind of a similar situation of he's like deny, and then it might get to a point where they're like, well, here's the proof finally. So I don't know, but 11 games, I don't see the Browns really being able to come back or win enough games in that stretch to be able to make the playoffs or make any difference when he comes back, to play.
So the rumor is that they're talking about a trade for Jimmy G for those 11 games. That's the rumor right now.
I mean,
I don't see that happening though. Like, why would you bring somebody in that's like a $23 million quarterback for 11 games?
Yeah, I was gonna say that you're already paying, Deshaun a whole bunch of money. You
Nope.
don't want to pay a backup that.
Oh my God. I saw the breakdown of his pay. So I thought it was really funny. For this year, he only makes $8 million. And then he's got an $8 million signing bonus. Next year, he makes $46 million. So they broke it down knowing that he was going to be suspended this year to pay him as low as possible.
Oh, well, I mean, I guess that's smart on their part, but they still made everything guaranteed. So,
Yeah.
And you have no idea what type of player you're getting. And even after the 11 games, you would think the first games are going to be like him getting used to everything again, getting the rust off and everything. And really, after 11 games, now you're trying to fight for a playoff spot at that point. And
Right.
you're just gonna throw him in and just be like, well, I mean, he's our guy. How do you ease him in after that?
Yeah, it's freaking terrible. I don't know, man. It's Browns doing Brown shit.
Typical Brown stuff, and that's why people don't typically want to stay or play there. And they lost a bunch of people, and it's just the culture. A culture is a big thing,
Yeah,
just
Kareem Hunt wants out.
yeah.
Jarvis Landry wanted out. Odell Beckham wanted out. Baker Mayfield wanted out. Like Baker Mayfield was a former number 1 pick. Former number 1, and they got a conditional 5th round pick. The condition, if the Panthers make the playoffs with Baker Mayfield starting at least 50% of the games, then they get a 5th round pick. That's the condition. Like, that's terrible.
Terrible.
Be like, oh, he's 50% of the games is 8 games. Oh, he's at 7 of them, so we'll make sure and not start him the last couple. Just so even if we make the playoffs, we don't have to.
That way
We
you
don't
don't
have to give up that 5th round pick.
Yeah. That way, yeah. All right, fair enough. Well, moving on to some other things. Something to go over at least with my team. The 3rd round pick, Logan Burruss. He was an offensive lineman for us. Is going to miss the whole year with a ACL and MCL tear. So he's out for a whole season. He was our 3rd round pick. He was projected to be a starter for us and to jump right in and help out with Witten being gone. Preseason done, just trying to get him warmed up into the season, and then he's already done. So that's a big blow for us and for the offensive line. I mean, we still have a pretty decent offensive line, but losing a 3rd rounder that potentially was going to start for us is a huge blow. So
yeah. News on the Raiders. It recently came out, like either yesterday or the day before. Dana White popped off about the Raiders were actually front runners to get Rob Gronkowski and Tom Brady. They both were going to come play for the Raiders, but John Gruden said, no, I don't want them. Rob Gronkowski actually came out today and said, it's 100% true.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no. Oh, no.
So they go to the Bucs and win a championship.
Yeah. I mean, who knows if they would have won a title for the Raiders? It might not have happened, but at least the likelihood would have increased with having them.
Right? Like, I
And
love Derek
especially
Carr,
having
but
a
I'm sorry,
duo of
Tom Brady is the GOAT.
yeah, and especially having a duo of having like Waller and Gronk, playing, being able to switch them back and forth all the time. When one needs a rest, you're throwing the other one that's just as good, in
Yeah.
at the same time. So it doesn't matter. You're always having a good tight end in no matter what. And Gronk was always known for being a good blocker too. So, but yeah, I did see that, and I was wondering if that was true or not when that came out and Dana White was saying that, which is kind of random that he brought that up or was just talking about it. Like, it's
Right?
really weird.
Well, he's good friends with Brady, so him
I
and
knew
Tom Brady
that.
are actually really good friends.
Yeah, I knew that.
So Tom probably told him, and then he comes out with it, and then Gronk comes out and goes, yeah, that was 100% true. We were set to go play for Vegas. Like, we were set for it. And Gruden said, no, I don't want them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know Tom Brady, when he left the Patriots as well, has publicly said that there was a LA team that he wanted to go to, but then that team didn't want him. And to this day, we still don't know if it was the Rams or the Chargers.
It was the Raiders. I know they're not an
team.
I know they're not an LA team, but if you ever watch like home games in LA, not for the Rams because they won the Super Bowl, so you guys got a bunch of bandwagoners now, but you go to a Chargers game and it's mostly Raiders fans. Like, even if it's a different team, like they'll go to the Chargers games and they're Raiders fans because that's their closest stadium, But
Yeah.
honestly, like the Chargers are the third team in LA. The Raiders are number one still. The Rams are number two, and now the Chargers are number three. So
Shoot.
we have 9 home games this year. We have 8 in Vegas and one, or no, not. We have 10 home games this year because we have 8 in Vegas and 2 in LA. Which
Shoot.
I'm still trying to work on getting those tickets and stuff for us to go, trying to get it all planned out so we can go. But it'd be just me and you. I already talked to my wife about it. She's good.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. So hopefully we can still make it happen. I would still like to be able to do that. Um, so one quick thing, talking about let me see if I can pull it up with this link here. Talking about football just in general, just real quick, because college football is kind of right around the corner as well, coming up. Um, the preseason like top 25 had already come out. Yeah, here it is right here. So, funnily enough, again, I think it's funny when they do these because the national champions never get like their due. So Alabama gets number one. They're going to be the
Of
number one
course.
team coming into the season. Number two, still not Georgia. It's Ohio State.
What?
And then number three is Georgia, finally. Number four is Clemson, which is really weird because Clemson kind of like fell off the map, with
Yeah.
everything. Number five is Notre Dame. Number six is Texas A&M. And then a little love since we live in Utah. Number seven is Utah.
Nice.
So they're in the top 10. Number eight is Michigan. Number nine, Oklahoma. Number 10, Baylor. So that kind of rounds off like the top 10. BYU sneaks in at 25 to make the top 25. So BYU and Utah both in the top 25 as of right now.
We'll see what BYU does. Isn't this their first year in the Big Ten? Or no, just 2024 that they go to the Big Ten. So they're still, yeah, because that's when USC, UCLA, and Stanford are all going over to the Big Ten.
I was gonna say, yeah, when they're all big in the big move. USC, we'll have to keep an eye on them. They're at 14. They're supposed to have like a big year this year and kind of try to take back, being the top person in the Pac-12. So
That's Utah right now.
I mean, yeah, right now it's Utah, but USC is supposed to have like a big push, especially with getting that new head coach. What was his name that took it over? I can't even remember his name now.
Wasn't the dude from Notre Dame or whatever?
I was gonna say, yeah, it was one of the big name. I mean, because obviously it's USD, so it's always like a big name. But yeah, anyways. But so we'll see for the for college football. But yeah, Alabama still at the top, and I just wonder how long that's always gonna be. Like
It's always
how
going to
long
be
that's.
Bama.
Huh?
That's always going to be Bama. They're always the favorite to win.
I mean, I'm saying until maybe I guess Saban leaves. I don't know. Like, and then they won't be able to recruit as well. But when you're almost guaranteed a spot, like to get drafted in the NFL, I mean, why not go? Like, why would you pass that up? Why wouldn't you try to increase your odds of getting drafted? Like, that's the whole point, is you want to get drafted by the NFL. So
I mean, their worst lineman got drafted in the round 1 by the Raiders, Alex Leatherwood.
mm-hmm.
Like he got drafted first round, and he was their worst lineman.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So why not go there? Just because that's going to happen. Let's see here. I was going to pull up the NFL playoffs from last year to get the bracket, just so that way we can be able to look at the ones that made it last year compared to who's either going to get in or not get in this year. Come on, they got to have like a bracket. That's divisional. I don't want to look at divisional. Guess I could pull up wild card. Just base it off of that. I figured someone would have like an actual just bracket to look at. Wonder if I can find a bracket real quick.
What was the Raiders, Bengals, Chiefs, Bills,
Okay,
and there's one more. Oh, Titans
this one.
for the AFC.
What the? Why? They have like you go online. Okay, here we go. Finally, I was able to find one. I got it. Okay, so we can use that for here in a little bit. All right, so let's start with divisions and go through the divisions and see who we like and don't like. Do you want to start in the AFC or the NFC?
Start AFC.
AFC, of course, of course.
You asked me. If you could have just said, "Let's start in the NFC." Good to go.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. So AFC East, we got the Bills, the Jets, the Patriots, and the Dolphins, who have all kind of, well, not all, but the Dolphins and the Bills obviously bolstered a lot of their roster this offseason to try to like make a push or whatnot. So let's start with who you think is going to win the division.
Bills.
You don't think the Dolphins can overtake them with
No.
all that they got in the offseason?
No. Tua is not going to escape Von Miller. Bills take that division. I think the Dolphins will be like one game behind them in second place, though.
And you think the Patriots will be in third?
Yep.
Dang. Like even after the Patriots were second last year, and then I'm pretty sure they made the playoffs as well. Yeah, they did. They got in as a 6th seed.
Yeah.
Man, so
they're not gonna make the playoffs this year.
So no playoffs for the Patriots.
Nope.
Wow, dang. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say the Bills are gonna take the division, and Miami gets in as a wild card. So I think Miami will get in.
Nope.
They added enough that.
Nope.
No, what?
They're not going to get in as a wild card.
That's the only way. If you don't win the division, then that means you get in as a wild card.
They're not going to make the playoffs.
The Dolphins?
Nope.
Oh, so you only think the Bills then?
Only the Bills in that division will make the playoffs. But the Dolphins will be second place in that division.
Okay, so we're going against each other on that one then. I'm going to say they get in as a wild card. Okay.
Nope.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we'll see. So I think I agree with you though. Patriots miss out, and then Dolphins get in. So it's one of the. They say it's like 6 teams that switch out and don't get in or whatever every year. So yeah. I think that's going to be one of them. Okay. So AFC North, we got the Steelers, the Ravens, the Browns, and the Bengals.
Bengals win.
Bengals win the division. They finally take it. They finally like overcome.
They won the division last year.
Did they? I didn't think they won it. I thought they got in as a wild card.
No, they won the division. The Steelers got in as the wild card.
Oh yeah, the Bengals were ranked 4th and the Steelers were 7th.
Yep. The Steelers snuck in because the Raiders beat the Chargers instead of tying them.
Yeah. So Bengals get in, okay.
Nobody else does.
Nobody else? All right. You don't think with the Ravens, Lamar or anything, if he stays healthy?
Nope. I see them having a winning record, but they're not getting in the playoffs.
Okay, fair enough. I'm actually going to agree with you. Just the Bengals. I think Bengals take the division. They bolstered their offensive line hardcore this offseason. They were just like, yeah, we don't want to tie the Super Bowl record for getting sacked 6 times or however much it was, 7 or
Or
whatever.
Joe Burrow was sacked, I think, 90 times last year. The next closest person was, I think, Matt Ryan at 52.
Yeah, so they were like, yeah, we need to protect them better. So they got a bunch of free agents and drafted and everything. So yeah, I agree. I think Bengals will take it. Next one is the AFC South. So the Texans, the Titans, the Colts, and Jacksonville.
I think the Colts win it, and the Titans have the same record, but the Colts win it because of a tiebreaker. And the Colts and Titans both go to the playoffs. I think the Titans go in as a wild card this year. They were the number 1 seed last year, but I think
Yeah.
Derrick Henry stays healthy, and they go in as a wild card this year.
Okay. But you said the Colts win the division, though, right?
Colts win the division based on a tiebreaker.
Oh, okay. They're always close, like every year, the Colts and the Titans for who gets the division. I don't know if Matt Ryan's really the answer though. There,
Matt Ryan's a good quarterback. He just had a
yeah,
shitty team. But the
yeah.
Colts bolstered their defense. They were like a top 5 defense last year, and they added more.
Last year they were like taking the ball away. I think they had like the most takeaways. Like
Yeah.
they were getting forced fumbles and interceptions like all the time.
And then they added the 25-year-old Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Uh, with Tennessee losing Brown, I think that's gonna hurt them. So yeah, I think the Colts take it. They get the division. Because how many wild card teams could get in? Because I already said
3.
Miami would get in.
3.
3. Yeah, I'll say the Titans get in too. Like you said, just second place, and then the Titans get in. So, yeah, I'll go with Colts take it. Titans get in as a wild card. But I agree with you. I think it'll be close though for the division for sure. It's not going to be like one sided.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one then is last one is the AFC West, which is your favorite division. So we got the Vegas Raiders, Broncos, the Chiefs, and the Chargers. Which this offseason, almost every single team other than the Chiefs went and just tried to get as many good people as they could to join their teams. So let's hear it and your breakdown.
Raiders win the division. They're underdogs. Like everybody that I talk to is, oh, Carr's the 4th best quarterback in that division. And it's like Justin Herbert hasn't done shit. Russell Wilson is starting to wash up. He's more injury prone. Patrick Mahomes is by far the best quarterback in that division. But Patrick Mahomes doesn't have as many weapons. He's got drop ball McCole Hardman, and he's got TikTok superstar Juju Smith-Schuster. And then Josh Gordon, who can't stay off the drugs. Like, there is rumors that they are trying to trade for Kareem Hunt to take him back. But I don't know if Kareem Hunt really wants to go back to the team that lost all faith in him and just booted him.
Yeah.
You know? But I think the Raiders take it. The Chiefs are second, and the Broncos are third. And those are the 3 teams that actually make the playoffs. I think the Chargers are going to choke out the end of the season again. They're going to have a great run mid-season and like be kind of in the running for it. But then they're going to choke out at the end of the season like they do every freaking year. Like Justin Herbert he's a damn good quarterback. Damn good. But he hasn't proven anything. He hasn't proven that he can make the playoffs. He hasn't proven that he can actually hold his ground under pressure.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Chargers make the playoffs. I think they end up in fourth, but I think it'll be the only division that every single team has a winning record in the entire
Okay.
NFL.
Yeah. Huh. Fair enough. That'd probably be a good guess for sure. Gosh, I'm like torn a little bit on this division. So because it could go any way with all the teams the way that they stacked themselves up.
The reason that I'm taking the Raiders, they have struggled the last couple of years in the red zone, like bad, bad in the red zone. They kick a lot of field goals because John Gruden could get them down there, but he could never finish a drive. His red zone offensive calls were horrendous. Josh
Yeah,
McDaniels has really focused on the red zone calls. Like he's really good everywhere else. He's proven that he's an offensive like genius with the Patriots because he ran that offense. Bill Belichick ran the defense. So Josh McDaniels has fixed a lot of the woes in the red zone. And it's going to make Derek Carr more efficient in the red zone. I could see him probably throwing. So I actually threw out a guess today on Facebook on our trash talk on this AFC trash talk thing that I'm on. And this guy pops off and he's like, Derek Carr is going to throw 40 interceptions and have 20 fumbles. And I was like, no, he's probably going to throw for about 4,800 yards this year, 37 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and probably have 4 fumbles.
fair enough.
But Derek Carr is going to go off because he actually has red zone offense built around him.
Yeah. Mm, I think I agree with you. I think Vegas could take the division, but then I don't know. I'm leaning more towards the Chargers, to be honest, to be in second and be the final wild card, and then the Broncos and the Chiefs miss out. Like it would probably be the Chiefs in third, and then the Broncos at the bottom. Like, yeah, the Broncos got Russell Wilson, but that doesn't magically make everything better to be able to. I mean, makes things better, but it doesn't make it good enough to be able to compete in such a hard division. Like, the when he was in our division, like, it was always rough, and he played well, obviously, but now you're going to a completely different conference, and everyone in that division stepped up and picked up people. So, and I think the Chargers, like I said, I think they finally, I think they're going to do it, and the Chiefs just don't have enough on offense or defense. Defense, they just Tyron Matthew, like, got him out of a lot of trouble, and he's not there anymore.
Yeah,
So
but they have Justin Reed. Justin Reed is a younger version of Tyrann Mathieu.
yeah, I don't know. I just don't think they'll be able to do as well this year. Like I said, I think they'll take third, and then the Broncos, like I said, will be at the bottom. So, but yeah, I think the Raiders could finally take a division and go from there. Um, so if we had to guess in the AFC, who would be the number one seed coming out of it? Who's going to have the best record?
Bills.
I was gonna say I was thinking Bills or Bengals. I think I'm gonna go Bills. I think I'm gonna agree with you. They just have like a lot of hype right now, and they're kind of just the favorites to go to the Super Bowl, especially after they got Von Miller. So
They're the
and Von
favorites to
Miller,
win the Super Bowl.
well, yeah,
Like
yeah, because
they're leaps and bounds ahead of everybody as far as odds to win the Super Bowl.
but they just have to actually produce it and do it though.
Yeah.
So, and that's the thing. And I mean, having Vaughn's going to help because 2-time Super Bowl champion. He obviously proved with the Rams that he still has it, especially playoff Von Miller. When he has to turn it up, he turns it up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I agree with you for sure that that's who would take it. So now the NFC. So let's start with the good old NFC West, which is usually like a dumpster fire. we got the Giants, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Commanders.
That's the East, not the West. You said West. You said West.
Oh, well.
That's why I was like, how are the Rams a dumpster fire? They're Super Bowl champions. Shit.
That's what you get.
Just smack my knee. Instant karma for making fun of you.
Right.
Ah, damn it. So I think the Eagles take it, and I think the Cowboys sneak into the playoffs. I don't think either other team does anything. The Commanders might have like a 7-10 record or an 8-9 record, but I don't see them. Carson Wentz is not that good of a quarterback, and he's fragile. I mean, if he gets hurt, they got a better chance of winning because he's not good. Nobody's going to do this with the ball.
Yeah, that's very true. I actually like the Eagles a lot. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people, especially with getting AJ Brown. I think they're going to do very well.
And they still have Devonta Smith. Like,
yeah,
he's a beast. Jalen Reagor's garbage, and they got rid of Arcega Whiteside, traded him off so they could get a defensive back, which I thought was genius.
And they still have Gabbert for their tight end. He's decent too. So yeah, I think the Eagles are going to surprise people this year. I think people really aren't talking about them that much because everyone's on the Cowboys bandwagon. I'm trying to think for that because possibly the Cowboys could get in again as a wild card.
I think they do. I think they get in as a wild card. Zeke looks good. Like the videos I've watched of him, like this offseason, like training camp and stuff like that. I mean, he is just running people over. He's back to like old Zeke.
Well, we'll see then. For right now, I'll see on the other divisions how I feel, but I would say the Cowboys could get in as a wild card. So then we have the NFC North, which is the Bears, the Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings.
My wife's going to kick my ass for this. I think the Vikings take it this year. I think they take the division. And I think the Packers have a good chance of getting in if Aaron Rodgers can get some kind of camaraderie with his receivers because he doesn't really have that. Like there's videos of him yelling at his receivers saying, "Guys, you need to catch the damn ball. Like I'm putting it in your hands, catch it." So, I mean, if he can get that camaraderie with them down, then, the Packers will sneak in as a wild card. But I don't think they're going to win the division this year. I think it's going to be the Vikings take the division, and the Bears will be in the bottom of that division. I think they're going to have a worse record than the Lions. I think the Lions are actually going to have more wins. They started to click at the end of the season, dude.
Yeah.
Like they started to click really well. And they added some key pieces in the draft. Like I think the Lions will be all right. I don't think their winning record all right, but I could see them maybe like a 6-11. But I think the Bears are going to win like 3 games this year. I think the Bears end up with the number 1 pick next year.
Oh gosh. Fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say how I've been saying, and I've told your wife that the Packers aren't gonna do anything next year. I've blatantly told her that a couple times. But the Vikings, they'll take it. And then the Packers will get in as a wild card. I feel like because they can still ride the
They still have a
coattails
good
of Aaron
defense.
Rodgers. Huh?
And they still have a hell of a good defense.
Yeah, so yeah, I think they'll get in as a wild card, but yeah, the Vikings take it. I agree that the Lions, like, it's been interesting to watch the Hard Knocks for them so far on HBO. They Some of the players, like, I'll hand it to them. Like, a lot of the times on those shows, they kind of beat around the bush about like their record from last year, and the running back Swift, DeAndre Swift, he was like
Yeah.
breaking down one of the huddles, and he was like getting all emotional and stuff. And he was like, whenever you get tired, whenever you feel like you can't do it anymore, he was like, remember the record that we had last year. He was like, that record pisses me off. He was like, that's not us. Like, we are better than that record. And he was like, if you're getting tired and you don't want to do it anymore, he was like, then, you know, don't be on this team. He was like, because that record motivates me to do better. And I was like, good on you, man. Like, that's pretty awesome, that you're like, yeah, I don't like having that losing record. Like, I don't like having that bad of a record. So
Yeah.
sometimes, like I said, they kind of dance around it, but I give him props that he was a leader and he was like using it as motivation and was like, whenever you get tired and you don't want to do it anymore, just remember what a record was last year. So yeah, I could see the Lions doing better, like you said. So next one is the NFC South. So the Falcons, the Panthers, the Saints, and Tampa.
Tampa wins it. And I think the Falcons end up second. Saints are third. Panthers are fourth. I can see the Panthers winning 4 or 5 games this year. That's it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I agree. I think Tampa's going to take it. They still got Brady, so I think they, will be able to take it pretty easily. I actually think the Saints will get second. I still think they have a pretty decent team, even with Jameis Winston. Michael Thomas is coming back, so we'll see how he's able to do. And then the Falcons and the Panthers will fight for last place. They don't. Neither of them really have anything to look forward to. So, but yeah, I think Tampa's the only one that gets in, and they take the division. So last but not least, the NFC West, which is the Niners, the Cardinals, the Rams, and the Seahawks.
Rams, they take the division. And I think the 49ers sneak in as a wild card. They'll be the third wild card team. The Cardinals will take third, and the Seahawks will take fourth. But it'll be close. I think they're the other division that could have all winning records. But I don't think the Seahawks have win. I don't think the Seahawks have a winning record. I think the other 3 teams do.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the Seahawks actually where you're putting the Bears. Like, I think they have one of the worst records in the NFL next year, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, like I think they'll be the bottom of the barrel that everyone's gonna be able to get like an easy win off of them.
That's not good because this next year it's going to be a quarterback heavy again.
Well, yeah, and that's
This
what I'm
next
saying.
draft.
And I think that's why they didn't get a quarterback in the offseason. They still haven't traded for people like Jimmy G or a Baker Mayfield because they want a high pick so they can get somebody. I think they did that on purpose, and of course they got all those picks from the Broncos.
I think Drew Lock is a better quarterback than most people think.
Yeah, I mean,
really
he's decent, but I just like I said, I just don't think they have anything around to be able to help. But yeah,
They got DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Both of them are way better than any of the Broncos receivers. Just saying. Like, he's got people he can throw to that will run and catch the damn ball.
Well, yeah, run after catch is a big thing, yeah.
Not just that, they won't drop the ball like Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton do. Like, the best receiver that the Broncos have is Tim Patrick.
Yeah, was he the one that got injured or?
Yep. Yeah, and he's out for the season.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember one of their receivers got injured. Um, this one's kind of hard for me because I think the Rams could take the division. And I think the 49ers or the Cardinals will be the last wild card that I would say that would get in. But it's almost like a coin flip for me just because I don't know how good Trey Lance is going to be, you know. And obviously Kyler Murray hasn't proven anything either when it comes to winning in like the big games or whatever. But I don't know. He at least still has more experience than Trey Lance, and um,
I
yeah,
think
the
that's why
40,
Trey Lance has the upper hand, to be honest. I think that's why the 49ers get in because there's not a lot of tape on Trey Lance. There's
yeah.
just not. So teams aren't going to know how to scheme for him until probably halfway through the season.
Yeah. And the 49ers defense, I feel like, is probably better than the Cardinals.
By far.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I still think it's going to be close, but, obviously I have to make a pick. So I would maybe say the 49ers get in as the other wild card. They're just really well coached, too. And so, I mean, they usually always have a great game plan and everything. I mean, they beat us 6 straight times before we beat them in the playoffs. Like we
So
couldn't get that
that's
off
going to
of our
get
back.
broken, by the way.
What?
So the regular season, the 49ers kind of owning the Rams. I think the Rams take both games from the 49ers this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be interesting. I don't know. I'm always nervous when we play them just because they've always had our number. So and like I said, and like you said, there's no real good tape on Trey Lance, so it'll be interesting to see, how we keep him in the pocket, and we've had to
Aaron
do
Donald.
that. Yeah, I mean, usually that's our go-to. So, but Aaron Donald was more of a lethal force because of Von Miller, and now we don't have Von Miller. So, Aaron Donald was able to still keep up his dominance because of that. But we'll see. And playoff Aaron Donald is different again. Like playoff Von Miller. He takes it up a notch when it's playoffs. So
He
um,
wanted that. He wanted that ring, man.
he wanted it and he went out and got it. So yeah. So who's gonna be the number one seed in the NFC?
Rams.
You think so? Over
Yep.
like a Tampa?
Yep. Tampa will be the number 2 seed.
Gosh, because Tampa's division is a lot easier than ours.
I still think the Rams are the number 1 seed in the NFC.
And I don't know. I think almost more so I lean towards Tampa just because they play, the teams in their conference twice, and they could easily beat all of them, maybe other than the Saints. So it's just like I feel like those are all easy games for them, and we play the Niners twice, which will be hard. We play the Cardinals twice, which will be hard. So it's just like that kind of puts us at a disadvantage. So I don't know. I'm leaning more towards Tampa. I think Tampa will probably get it again. Um, so with the playoff bracket, then, so Arizona doesn't get in. We both agreed on that. So that's a team that gets left out. And what the Packers had the number one seed last year, right? So
Yeah, and
yeah,
they get in as a wild card.
they get in as a wild card, but it looks like it's basically all the same teams other than the Cardinals. So basically, just the Vikings. So it's all the same teams other than the Vikings.
Yep. The Vikings swap places with the Cardinals, huh?
Yeah, and then in the AFC, um, I was saying Miami would get in instead of New England. So they would swap places. But then you were saying, and I said the Chiefs would be out, the Steelers would be out. So the AFC is almost going to be the one that has a lot more parity than the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
So because we said Vegas would get in, we said
Which they were in last year. But I
yeah,
said Denver will get in, the Chiefs will get in, and the Colts will get in. So Denver and the Colts were the two teams that I swapped out.
Okay. Yeah, and I said the Colts would get in, so that was a team I swapped out. The Dolphins was one that I said would get in and didn't last year. And then who was my third wild card for the
Chargers.
AFC? The Chargers, yeah. So man, all three new teams for me then, and you only had two that are
Three.
different, yeah.
I had three.
Yours was three that were different as well.
No, you're right, two. Denver and the Colts.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So 3, 4, 5. So that's like five that I'm saying that would be different. And what, four for you that are saying that was different?
Just the Vikings and Dallas.
Well, Dallas got in last year too, so
Did
they
they?
were. Yeah, remember because of the Prescott, he didn't spike the ball against the Niners.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So and Philly got in last year too as a wild card, but we're just saying that they're going to be in as like a
They're
higher
just
seed this
swapping
time.
places. Yeah.
Yeah. um. Gosh, and the poor Rams. I always feel like in the playoffs we always have to play someone in our division. There's always someone in our division there that we have to play in
Because
some
your
type of
guys'
game.
division has been insanely strong.
It's like we can't ever get past that. So yeah, I think that was it for doing all the divisional stuff, conference stuff, and whatnot. Who's going to get into playoffs this year? That was different from last year.
And we did Rookie of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, all last one, didn't we?
Yep, yeah, we
Yeah.
covered all that on the last episode. The only other thing that we could be able to cover is either covering like some fantasy football stuff, but usually that's easier to cover once like the year starts.
Yeah.
Once.
So why don't we pick NFC championships or NFC champions and AFC champions? See who's
Oh,
going to the Super Bowl.
oh, dang. All right, well, start us off there then, Maestro.
NFC championship is going to be the Bucks versus the Rams. And I think the Rams take it and go back to the Super Bowl. AFC championship is going to be the Bills and the Raiders. And I think the Bills take it and go to the Super Bowl.
Which stadium is it coming up this year
I have
for
no
Super
idea.
Bowl? You have no
I
idea?
didn't even look. Yeah.
All right, let me look real quick.
Yeah, that's got to be a factor over the last couple of years.
Super Bowl 57 stadium. Oh, it's in Arizona, isn't it? State Farm Stadium, isn't that Arizona?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Arizona. So it's in the Cardinals Stadium. Last time it was at the No, wait. I was trying to think who it was last time when it was in the Cardinals Stadium. Wasn't it like the Steelers and like someone else? Can't remember. But anyways, so yeah, it's in Arizona this year.
But I think
yeah,
the Super Bowl is going to be the Rams and the Bills this year.
the Rams and the Bills. So the season opener is going to be the season ender.
Yep.
Dang. Okay, and then who would take it between the Bills and the Rams?
I think the Bills finally get their win. It'll be
Because
their fifth Super Bowl.
they've not won one ever, have they? Are they one of the teams that's got zero?
Yeah, they went to 4 in a row and lost all 4 in the 90s.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember that.
Only team to ever do that. But yeah, I don't think. I think they actually do get. I'm going with like the experts and shit on this one. Like I really think the Bills finally get their first Super Bowl.
Alrighty, fair enough. Oh gosh, so See, I guess it would depend on like the seating and everything like that, but I feel like the AFC could it be Bills Bengals like in an AFC championship game?
It depends on who gets second place.
Depends on seating.
Yeah, it all depends on seeding. So that's why I'm just throwing a guess out there. Because if the Bills are the first place, they will not play the second place team until the championship.
Okay. Yeah, because they always play
And
the
I
lowest
think the
ranked
Raiders are
team.
going to have the second best record in the AFC.
Oh,
Just saying.
all right, fair enough. I think it potentially could be Bills Bengals. I think Bengals still continue the momentum that they had last year, but the Bills take it. Like the Bills end up winning it. Um, just because Joe Burrow can't escape the ghost of Von Miller. Be having nightmares the rest of his career. Von Miller sacking him.
Right?
um, so yeah, I think the Bills could do it, and then in the NFC, again, I guess it would obviously depend on seeding, but um, I think it could possibly be a Rams Tampa, like you were saying. I feel like we have Tampa's number because we beat them during the regular season too. So I could agree. I think it could be like a Bills Rams Super Bowl, but I think the Rams could win it and be the first back to back team in a long time. I think Stafford submits his legacy full on stamp of approval, 100% certified, guaranteed Hall of Fame career. If he does that, he could play crappy the rest of the time that he's in LA, but he got that he gets the back to back Super Bowls he's in. And Aaron Donald, that solidifies his legacy too. I mean, he's already kind of solidified it, but that kind of even like ends the discussions of like the whole like, is he better than LT type of thing. So because I can't remember, I think LT only won one Super Bowl, didn't he? Or did he win two? He won two?
Yeah.
Because I knew he won the one with Parcell, Bill Parcell, but I didn't know if he won another one before
Yeah,
that.
the Giants have four. They have four rings. They had two and then two like 80s, 90s with Lawrence
Two with,
Taylor,
two with
and
Eli.
then two with Eli Manning.
Yeah, I was gonna say two with Eli. Yeah,
Yeah.
fair enough. Oh yeah, you're right. It is four because I was looking at that little picture that I posted on our Facebook page with like the Super Bowl titles by division, and poor Vikings, they've never won one. The Lions have never won one. The Cardinals have never won one. The Panthers and the Falcons have never won one.
And the Jaguars and
I only had a picture of the NFC one. I didn't.
oh,
I
okay.
couldn't find one for the AFC. So, but
Yeah, the
because
Vikings have been two or three times and never won.
I was gonna say I knew they had gone, but then they just couldn't win it.
Yeah, they lost to the Raiders the last time they were in one.
Was that when it was like the Purple People Eaters or whatever?
Pretty close, yeah.
It was around that time, the same time.
Yeah.
Alrighty, cool. We'll wrap things up for this episode. We can cover some more stuff next week if some other stuff arises. Preseason will still be going on. We can cover the top 100 because that's been going on as well. The NFL top 100 continues tonight, so I'm going to watch that tonight and see. They go a lot quicker now because they did the 100 through 50 the last week last Sunday, so I think this time they do like 50 through like 20 or something like that. So
They've already done some of it today.
it's already started. Okay,
Yeah, because like they were in like the 30s last time I saw.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm recording it, so I'm definitely gonna watch that. I love watching that. It'll be interesting because I want to see if Cooper Kupp ends up getting the top wide receiver spot, or if they give it to Devontae again. Because Devontae had the top wide receiver spot last year on the countdown.
Yeah.
And then it's supposedly voted by the players, but I don't know how much of that is still controlled by the show itself, who they want to put up there and whatnot. But Mahomes got the number one spot last year, and then Aaron Donald got second. And then I think Aaron Rodgers was third. And I'm sure Aaron Rodgers is going to be up there again since he got back-to-back MVPs. So that it'll just be interesting to see the top 10. The top 10 is usually the one that I'm most excited to see, and to see where everyone like falls, or where everyone ends up landing. But cool. As always, we appreciate the views and the listens. You can always check us out on Spotify, Podcasts, Anchor. Check us out on our Facebook page, Sports Harder Podcast. You can always check us out on YouTube with our lovely faces and whatnot, and always like and subscribe and share. Hopefully here soon we'll get the other podcast, have those guys on here as well, and we can kind of
real fans football talk.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get that in the works before the season starts. I think it'd be fun if we do it before, just so that way we can get their predictions on some of the divisions and stuff like that, like we did, and kind of see where they differ from our picks and what we thought. So yeah, hopefully that'll be in the works here pretty soon. You guys can get excited about that, and go like their page and go like their stuff and listen to it as well, and share. And they have
they got a new episode up right now. So
yeah, they do all the same stuff as we do. They got YouTube and stuff like that. So definitely, go and check it out. But yeah, until next time, we shall catch you guys on the flip side.
Hey, no hashtags.
Well, everyone should know our hashtags by now, hopefully.
Earl Thomas still not signed. Florida Gators 30 for 30.
Signed, yeah. The 30 for 30 Florida Gators, and then I don't know where Aaron Judge is at right now for his homers.
46.
He's at 46?
Yeah, in a week he's only hit 3.
I was gonna say he hasn't really been hitting many then here lately. If he's only at 46.
No. Yeah, he's only at 4. I looked it up right before we logged in.
Oh, okay. So yeah.
So
he better be picking things up then if we're gonna be hashtagging him. He better not make us look bad.
Right.
Send him an angry letter. He doesn't care. We'll be like, hey, you're making our podcast look bad. Start hitting some more home runs.
Yep.
Alrighty. Cool. Alright, awesome. Well, now that we have the hashtags done, now we can catch you guys next week. Same time, same place.
Later.
Peace.